Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another movie review, and this movie I'm going to be reviewing is a movie I've wanted to see for a while. I was definitely very much looking forward to this movie, and that's because of, Reese Witherspoon was nominated for Best Actress for this movie. She was nominated for that, and I was definitely looking forward to the movie because of that. And the movie I'm going to be reviewing is Wild. Now, Wild was a movie that as I said, I was definitely really looking forward to seeing. And I think I didn't really look forward to see it till I heard Reese Witherspoon was like amazing in it, because I've always really liked Reese Witherspoon as an actress. I always thought she was an actress that was very, very good in the roles she's done. Even in like some of her romantic comedies, I've liked some of them. I think she's very, very talented actress. She's a very good actress, but a lot of times she's very, pretty and she's a beautiful actress. But this movie, Wild, what did I think of Wild overall? Kind of disappointing, honestly. This movie was kind of boring, and it was kind of as slow as Foxcatcher. A lot of people are talking about how slow Foxcatcher is. I kind of found Wild to be more boring. Honestly, this movie was very disappointing, and had Reese Witherspoon not be in this movie, I probably would not really have liked this movie. Now, let me talk about the plot of this movie. The plot of Wild basically it focuses on this girl, Cheryl Strayed, who was a real person, and it's based on a book also, which I heard this movie is pretty close to the book, so that's pretty cool, especially for people who like the book. So she basically decides, she's been through a lot in her life, and basically to cleanse herself and kind of just to get over it, she decides that she wants to take a hike more than 1,000 miles of the Pacific, a one-year hike, basically, to heal herself, pretty much, and find herself, and, fix who she's become and everything. And that's basically the plot of Wild. Along the way, we find out more about her past and things like that. She meets different people along the way, and that's the plot of Wild. Now, Wild, let me say this. This is not a bad movie. This is actually a very good movie at times. There are some things that I really actually do like about this movie. Now, I'm going to get you some of the best stuff about this movie. The acting in this movie is overall very, very good. The best by far, though, is Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon went full out with this movie because she completely transformed into this character. A lot of times when Reese Witherspoon is on screen, she's very beautiful, she's very attractive, she kind of just is in that role. A lot of people, when they think of Reese Witherspoon, they think, oh, she's a very attractive actress. But in this movie, no, not at all. There's nothing about her that's attractive. In the first scene in the movie, she's, like, screaming because her toenail's coming off. It's just so terrifying to watch. It's so gruesome to watch, and the scenes where she's on a hike are just so well done. The scenes where she's by herself are amazing. Now, my problem with her character, though, is I never fully got connected to her character till I'd say the last, 20 minutes of this movie is when I got really connected to her character. Her character, a lot of times, to me, just seemed like a character that, okay, she's trying to heal herself. And the things she's been through, we've seen in a lot of other movies. It's nothing we haven't seen before. And I kind of just thought, you know what, this isn't anything new. However, I think the reason that it worked so well is because of Reese Witherspoon's performance. She really went all out. There's this one scene in the movie towards the very end where she starts to break down, and I was just like, you know what, this is actually definitely a very good performance. Definitely was Oscar worthy, because she really went all out. It is by far her best performance. It is her performance of her career. It is the performance where when we look back on her career, this is the performance we're going to think of. She did a great job. Now, Laura Dern as her mother, I thought she was very good, but definitely did not deserve the Academy Award she got. Now, she's very, very good as her mother. She was very close to her mother, things like that. She was definitely very good. And the rest of the cast is very good. My only really problem are the people she met along the way. I thought they were just okay, but a lot of times they just seem like they weren't really acting. I didn't really like their acting for the most part. I didn't really care about the people she met along the way. It made sense, but I didn't really care too much about them. So that was kind of a problem for me. Now, the directing by Jean-Marc Vallée. I know he did Dallas Buyers Club, which I did not watch, and I'm gonna definitely complain about his acting. Definitely. I'm gonna complain about his directing, because my thing with his directing is that he's very good with directing movies. My problem with his directing is that I didn't really like the way he told this story. I felt like the story, the flashbacks to me, when we went to the past, it suddenly did not get interesting. The scenes that really worked for me were the scenes where Cheryl Strayed is by herself. She's talking to herself. She's trying to cleanse herself, get over everything she's been through. But the scenes where she would meet other people and there was dialogue, I just suddenly lost focus. I really was not interested in it. And it's not so much his fault. It's more the way he decided to construct the movie. I feel like if he would have constructed the movie better, it just would have worked better. I felt like the fact that it was non-linear didn't exactly work. And the pacing is so slow in the beginning that it just is so boring. And the screenplay, honestly, I don't really like. I love the narration in the movie. The narration she does is amazing. But scenes where characters are just talking, yeah, there are some movies where it's great to see characters just have a conversation, but this movie, when characters are talking, it's kind of stale. It really is. I was not into the dialogue scenes in this movie. I love dialogue-driven movies. Honestly, my favorite movie of 2014 is a dialogue-driven movie, and this is dialogue driven, and I didn't really like it. I really didn't. It was very slow for me. It didn't work. I lost focus a lot. I wasn't into the story, and that's simply because it's stuff we've seen before. And I know what you're gonna say. Cheryl Strayed was a real person. Yeah, she was a real person, but the stuff she goes through is nothing that I haven't seen in movies before. I didn't really see a point in telling her story minus the fact that she wanted to hike. I didn't really see the point in that, and that was kind of an issue for me. Cinematography, though, in this movie is, let alone a reason to see this movie. The cinematography, the scenes where she's on a hike, you take it in, you're loving what you're seeing. It's breathtaking cinematography. This is definitely, if you were to go to the movie theater, that's worth the price of admission right there. It's cinematography. Cinematography was fantastic, and I love the cinematography, definitely. Now, the editing, as I said, I had a lot of problems with, and it wasn't that the editing was bad, definitely. The editing was not bad. It wasn't bad. What the editing was, though, was I had a few nitpicks with the editing. I don't try to be too nitpicky with movies, but for me, the editing it really did not get going till, there were a lot of scenes that were very, very good, but the movie really didn't start to get going for me till, I'd say, the last half of this movie. I mean, the flashbacks were very slow. I didn't really care about the stuff with her ex-husband. She really was not a very likable character, really. The fact that they didn't decide to to reveal how she was till the second half of this movie, why she is the way she is, didn't really work for me. She just seemed like a girl who made bad decisions, now she's on a hike. That's really what it seemed like to me. It did not seem like she was, had a reason for doing this, and I didn't really like that. And even when we found out what the reason was, while I understood it and it was effective, definitely, there were a lot of movies, and I think the reason I didn't like this movie as much, there were so many good biopics in 2014, and this honestly was my least favorite, because I love The Imitation Game, such an effective movie. Selma was very effective. This was not that effective. It really was not. I wanted it to be effective, but it really just wasn't. I mean, she made some really bad decisions. She got tattoos. She was kind of rebellious in school. She was kind of a mean girl in school. She really was. And the non-linear stuff didn't work. I didn't like how we'd go to her divorce and then we randomly go to her in high school. It didn't work for me. It didn't stay consistent, and the movie, I didn't know what to do. It kind of seemed like they didn't really know what to do with the movie. It seemed like they had a story they wanted to tell. They just didn't know how to portray it. I feel if they portrayed the story better, then I definitely would have enjoyed the movie better. And don't get me wrong, there's some very good aspects of the movie. There's a great scene where it's towards the end of the movie where Cheryl talks to this little boy, and he sings the song, and it's the most adorable thing ever, but that was definitely a very good scene. She's a great monologue towards the end. But the guys that, she hung out with and the guy that picks her up randomly, I didn't like that, because it kind of just seemed like, she's trying to go on a hike by herself. Why does she have these random pit stops? Why did she do that? I don't understand why she wanted to do this, because wasn't the point of this for her to be by herself and find herself? Why is she interacting with other strangers? To me, it seemed like she was the kind of character that just, walk away. It didn't seem like she talked to them. So I don't understand why she had so many conversations and why she made so many pit stops. She didn't seem like that kind of character at all, and it really seemed like they didn't know what to do with her character. I don't know if Cheryl Strayed is still alive or not. Oh yeah, she is. I just looked her up. She's still alive. She's 46 actually. But I don't know if the directors really worked with her, and the movie doesn't have a this is what happened after, which I also find very interesting because a lot of biopics do that, and this movie does not do that. This movie to say, Cheryl Strayed went on to do this, and this happened to this person, this happened to this person, and honestly, I think it just goes with they didn't know how to really portray the story, and Jean-Marc Vallée, he's a very good director, but I really think that he should portray stories differently. I don't really like the non-linear aspect. It works, I heard it works really well in Dallas Buyers Club, but it doesn't really work in Wild. So while I really wanted to like this movie, I honestly didn't. I really, really wanted to love this movie, and I really did, and I think that might have been the reason why I didn't like it as much, because I went to this movie thinking I was going to love it, and I was going to think it was a fantastic movie, and not have any problems with it, really. I only have, like, a few problems here and there. When the movie started, though, I was really into it. The first few minutes where she's just sitting there, picking at her toenail, screaming. There are actually another thing that I really liked the movie did. There were some points where she was thinking back, like she had, like, some sort of, like, excruciating feeling where she was just, like, screaming. And she was thinking back to a time, like, there was a point where she was screaming, and she was thinking back to when her husband and her were having sex. And I thought that was actually really cool the way she did that. Kind of a coping mechanism for her to not have as much pain, or her to think about something that's caused her pain, or her to relate to something. I kind of like that, actually. I like the way they did that. There are a lot of scenes like that, and I kind of feel like they should have done more of that in the movie. They do that in a midpoint of the movie, and I thought it was really cool the way they structured that, and I feel like they should have done that more throughout the entire movie, and they didn't do that, and it kind of disappointed me, honestly. Really, it did. I really wanted to like this movie more than I did, and I didn't. And that's basically my review for Wild. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about this movie, guys. This is a good movie. I do recommend it. I think that if you're not as nitpicky as I am, you won't have as many problems with it. I definitely was very nitpicky when it comes to film. I'm not really nitpicky usually, but movies like this where you don't really know what to do with your character, it kind of seemed like they didn't really know what to do. They had a great idea. They had a great woman who definitely did some bad things in her life and definitely tried to fix herself. Also, I really wish the movie would have just told us what happened to her after, because I don't even know. I mean, it didn't make me want to look up. I mean, most biopics, I want to look up the character. I want to look up their history. I didn't want to look up her history after this movie because I really didn't care about her story that much. And I don't think it's her story. I think it's the way they decided to portray it in the movie. It wasn't interesting to me. It really wasn't. The only thing that made it interesting was Reese Witherspoon's performance and the cinematography. That's really it. And a few scenes towards the end. Other than that, I really was not as connected to this movie as I would, and I honestly would probably give this like a B-. I really would. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys love this movie. Now, guys, I'm not really going to have a lot of videos up tomorrow because I am in my high school chorale, which is the advanced group for chorus. We're going to Carnegie Hall tomorrow to sing. So because of that, I cannot, and that's like an all-day thing. So I have to be there like 8 o'clock tomorrow. So I cannot put on my Girl Meets World review probably till like 5 o'clock tomorrow. So if you guys are asking for my Girl Meets World review, that's when it's going to be, if you guys are wondering about that. But that's basically this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And my next video will definitely be for my Girl Meets World review. I might watch it tonight. We'll see. And I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye. Also, let me know what you guys think of this movie. Do you have many problems as I did? I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing what you guys thought of this movie. It's a very interesting conversation. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.